Hello, and welcome to Jay's Journey, episode number, I don't know what number. It's just an episode. It's the senior discount episode with the D's, Dave and Donnie.
Hi.
Yes, say hi, guys.
Hi.
As opposed to the Bobs. They'll be in another segment. I wanted to share with you guys this week about the senior discounts is the band that I'm in. And I think Dave and Don are the founding members. Is that right, guys?
We are with Bob.
And Bob, too.
Yes.
Bob was one of the Bobs was
Yep.
a founding member, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask them to kind of explain for each one of them personally how it started with them. And as you know, my channel's about inspiration and trying to, if you have a desire, a deep desire and aspiration, there's no reason you can't go for it at any age. Donnie's the senior member, by the way.
He is.
The senior member.
Just barely.
I'm the oldie.
So that being said, I guess I'll start with Donnie because you are the senior member. Tell me how this all kind of came about with the senior discounts.
My wife used to work with Dave's wife at an elementary school. And she told me one day that Dave wanted to learn how to play the bass because he was a drummer. And I said, oh, that'd be fun. So then we got together and I started showing him some different runs on the bass. Of course, he learned the hardest song was Amy by Pure Prairie League. And that was a chore for him. It took him, about a year?
Oh, it wasn't that long. Ouch. It was a while, though.
Yeah,
It was a while.
he picked it up.
I still don't play it right.
He played it right.
He picked
He's
it
done
up.
great.
Well, he picked it up and he ran with it, and right there, I looked at it that was one of his instruments, because he really ran with it, and he's getting better and better as he practices. And yeah, that's how we started out, and then Bob, one of the Bobs,
Yep.
came in. And Guitar Bob, he came in and he wanted to jam with us, so we started that. And Dave says, I have a friend that I used to work with, is Fred.
Yeah.
Which
Or
is
Jay.
you. Or
Jay.
I call you Freddie J
Yeah,
now.
Freddie J, that's right. Yeah.
And I told him, yeah, that'd be great. And after we all got together, and then your brother, Bob
Bob the
he's
drummer. Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
And we got together. That was it. It just started. And what's nice about it is that we're all familiar with what we really love doing, and that's music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
That's the nice part about it.
What I think
That's
is
the good
interesting, what Donnie was sharing, was Dave went from a drummer never touching a bass guitar, knowing nothing about bass clef or bass music or any of that stuff. Didn't even know the string names or notes at that time, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It went from that to now, I just look at him and say B or D. And he's right on it. He's right on it. He figured that all. I mean, he knows all that stuff now. How old were you when you started that?
I figured out 61. The first time I did it was 4th of July, 2015. That my high school buddy, Steve Morrison, that you guys know,
Right.
taught me Amy, started teaching me Amy. Donnie really made it stick.
Yeah.
But and that was the first song I worked on with Steve, too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, so now it's 2019, 4 years later, and Dave's becoming, really good bass player. He's
Thank you.
solid with the
Yeah.
with the rhythms for sure, because the drummer,
Yeah.
starting to explore arpeggios, more than just the root notes of the chords now. So
Yeah.
it's been a journey for all of us because originally I remember I just showed up with an acoustic guitar and a mandolin, I think, the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dave, you go ahead and tell your story
Okay.
from your perspective,
Yeah.
and as far as starting with you, Donnie, and Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, 4th of July 2015, I was at a reunion of some guys that I'm close to from high school, and Steve worked on teaching me the beginnings of Amy, and so we played some stuff. And then when I came back, I got a hold of Donnie and Bob, and I knew because I knew they were playing together. We'd gone and seen Donnie at a couple coffee shops, and I just really wanted an instrument that was more portable than the drums and not as loud as the drums. So bass made sense, and I thought I'll just learn one song at a time. And I think for people who say, I wish I'd have started a long time ago, and I wish I'd have done that, start now. Start now and learn one song at a time.
Yeah.
And it's because it's fun right from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And we joked around that, we had Amy, Jamie, Mamie, because each time we played it, it was a little different, and and then now what's happened is now we're working on probably at least a dozen new songs every time we get together, which is weekly. And then at one point, Fred called me. I think it was Divine Intervention or something. Fred called needing some paint. I own a paint store. And and Fred and I had known each other for probably 30 years or more.
About 30 years.
Fred, I said, hey, you play guitar, don't you? And he said, yeah, he did. And when I told him the makeup of the band, he said, well, I'll play mandolin, not guitar. We got enough of those. And it's been just a wonderful thing. So
Yeah, I had a lot of fun because I was still learning mandolin. And I thought, well, this is a good opportunity for me to keep playing, get better on another instrument. Because guitar I've played my whole life. Mandolin was kind of I'd been playing it for a while, but not with a group. And had lots of fun. Yeah, that's kind of how I remember it too. I called you one day out of the blue looking for a product or something.
Yeah, you were. You had a job that you needed done.
And I think we got off the phone. You said, no, I don't have it. And we hung up. And then you called me back like 5 minutes later or something. You said, by the way, are you doing anything Sunday? And we get together on Sunday afternoons. We've been doing that ever since. That was probably 2015. It was 2015.
Was it? Okay, yeah. So we probably started shortly after we got together,
yeah. So it's hard to believe we've been together almost 4 years.
Yeah. How the time flies by.
Yeah. I guess I'll let Bob, the two Bobs, we call them, I'll let them tell their stories in another episode. We just really enjoy it, and, you guys can, jump in at any point. But it's kind of therapeutic at the end of the week or beginning of the week, depending on which way you look at it, to get together and spend just a few hours escaping from the world and playing music together. And because we've done it for a while, we've gotten tighter, and we've gotten to be kind of like, we never expected anybody to really, not to be really good or anything. Maybe Donnie did.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect us to be, anything to meld together, because a lot of it was a struggle. Dave was learning bass, and we were trying to teach him, and Bob was trying to learn some of the guitar chords that we were interjecting. I was trying to learn mandolin. So when we started, except for Donnie, everybody else was, and my brother hadn't played drum in 20-something years. So when we started, everybody was kind of on a suck level. We are, except for Donnie.
Donnie, you guys both sounded pretty good always.
No, except for Donnie. Donnie was, in his comfort zone doing the same. He's probably our best lead singer and guitarist, so we were all doing really well that way. But the rest of us were all kind of, learning as we went. But after 4 years, over time it just melded together, and we have such a good time playing. I think that's what the people always comment that they like about us, is they say, you guys look like you're having a blast up there.
Well, and we really are. I always say it's my favorite thing I get to do all week, So.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. And the great thing, too, is Donnie, learns his part, figures out his part to a song, then he figures out my part, teaches me my part, you teach me my part. And,
a different my part.
Yeah, which is good, and sometimes an improved part.
No, not at all.
No, I mean sometimes the improvements on the part, but
and I change my mind a lot.
That's okay. And but each one of us has really a little bit different taste in music, and so the songs we select, we've got a really great variety of things that we've played, and we've had friends suggest other songs, which have been great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we play a lot of cover tunes. And by the way, I do have to mention that because of my recent research into YouTube, finding out that I've got to be really careful about copyright infringements as far as posting cover songs. So I pulled down a couple of videos off the channel that I felt, because we were actually performing cover songs in them. So I've got to kind of do more research, find out the legal aspects of that before we publish other people's cover songs. But we can mention the kind of music that we like to play, for sure. We like to play 70s, folk rock, Some 60s stuff too, right?
There has been.
It's hard for me to remember the 60s, but
Yeah.
I was just a little kid. Not because of drugs or
Yeah.
anything. It was because I was a little kid. No. And 70s folk rock and some contemporary stuff too within the last decade. A lot of pop tunes that we've discovered. There's a lot of great music out there. So, and we've got a couple original songs, and I would like to work on some more original stuff. I mean,
heck yeah.
and that we can post all day long.
Yeah.
There's no rules against posting original material. So, anything else, guys? You wanna
I would just encourage somebody if they're saying, I wish I had done this, do it now. I started at 61 with really no particular talent for any
Donnie
of it.
started at 89.
Yeah, he did. Geez. But one thing that I think is kind of a key, or something for me anyway, is to buy a good instrument that you want to pick up and practice.
Yeah.
Because if you buy something junky that you don't like playing, it's probably not going to work. But
Oh, that's true.
go after it.
We live in a time where you can get a really good, well-made instrument for pretty inexpensive. There's a lot of Chinese knockoffs and stuff out there, but they're unbelievably well-made. When I was growing up in the 70s or whatever, there was Fender, Gibson, whatever brand name that were top quality, and they were super expensive. All, handcrafted here in America and everything like that. Well, over the years with the technology of the 3D printers or whatever, the computerized cutting machines that they have nowadays, and they can engineer those parts really inexpensively, unfortunately. So if you are thinking of getting an instrument, do a little research. You can find some really well-made instruments for not an arm and a leg like it used to be to get started. Get some lessons, get a book if you want to be self-taught, but like Dave said, start now, start today. And it doesn't have to be music. It could be whatever that you have a passion for. At any age you can start. And this is for young people too. If you're young and you're thinking, oh, I just can't do that, I don't have the time or whatever, you'll find the time if it's something you want to do. So,
I think the other thing too is if it is music, play with other people.
yeah,
That helps you tremendously.
absolutely.
And
it does.
there are so many opportunities for whatever, because I've played in concert bands, jazz bands, that sort of thing. There are tons of adult amateur bands and
Yeah.
groups that you can get into.
Yeah.
Oh, what gets me is I watch video footage now. I wasn't really much of a computer or phone person, but I watch videos of young kids playing instruments, and I'm looking at it, and actually, when I see that, I told my wife, when I see a kid playing a guitar like that, it reminds me of myself when I was young. My dad taught me how to play guitar when I was 9, 10 years old, and I used to go play at weddings, anniversaries, parties with him. I learned that music, no one can take that away from you except yourself. To me, my music that I learned with my father was like an extension of my father, because he taught me everything I learned at that time. And then as I went on, my brothers, my nephews, we have a large family to where there's guitar players, there's drummers. It's just like we don't need to hire a band when we had a wedding or
Yeah.
because it was the family. They
Yeah.
all played. So in myself, I look at it as, in this group that we're in right now, I looked back at the first song was Amy.
Yep.
And number 1 became number 25, number 30. And we still have some on the back burner.
We're close to 50 now, I think.
Yeah.
50 in the repertoire.
Yeah.
To me, that shows us that we do enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of gives you that relief of the workday, everyday life. You get that opportunity every weekend
Yeah.
to sit, relax, enjoy each other's company, and just do what you love.
Yeah.
See, that's what I view. I'd say couldn't be playing with the better crowd of guys that
That's
I've
for
ever
sure.
played with. I
Yeah.
mean, we've all become really good friends, and I do have to say that this guy right here is a very, very, to me,
Egomaniac.
I don't think that at all.
He's a megalomaniac.
I don't think so at all.
He's so versatile. I mean, he's so versatile. He plays all these different instruments. And what makes it really great, I played by ear. I never read music. If I learned a song, I played it by ear, learned the lyrics and everything, and I memorized them. To play and learn by notes now is fantastic because I know I can go back and know what that note is.
Right.
You know, I can go back and know what that note is. And that's the good part about the crew that we have working on music.
Well, you guys have given me the space to play other instruments, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and to learn new instruments. So, we just added a 6-string banjo, which is like playing a guitar, but you have to approach it a little differently so you can get that kind of banjo finger picking down. So these guys give me the room to. They say, yeah, sure, you can put. But then when I get a new instrument, I want to play it in every song. And they're like, no banjo in this song. No banjo in this song. This is not a song for banjo.
And myself, I never really even thought of playing harmonica.
Yeah, Donnie picked up harmonica. That's right, and he plays it really well.
I never really thought. I watched my nephews play it. You know, I have I think it was like 4 nephews that got onto harmonicas and they played them like crazy. And I tried it once and I couldn't. I kind of got lightheaded there for a while, and I says, nah, this is not my.
Geez, it sounds great now.
But now I, learned how to breathe into it, and I think I was blowing it a little too hard. So I got lightheaded. But, to bring a different instrument in, here and there is really.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes a
Just
lot of.
Just gotta have your oxygen mask ready.
Carry that little tank next to me. But it is great. I mean, this is, I tell my wife all the time, this is one of the best things that's ever come into my life as walking in a path through my life is this little group.
Yep, it's
because, I think it gives us all a chance to break away, like say, from everyday life and just kick back and enjoy and create some more music.
And if we need Dave can play drums too, so sometimes my brother Rob, when he plays drums, I don't know if he might be thinking of singing. And actually, my brother Rob plays bass as well, so they can.
Yeah, a couple songs switch. Yeah,
they can switch and stuff. So we're having a lot of fun with this. So, any last words, guys?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for being part of Jay's journey.
Oh yeah.
We'll be posting some of our stuff. It'll probably be all original stuff that we'll try to get and put on the Jay's Journey channel. But like I said, I got to be careful of the copyright thing. Yeah. Thanks for joining us this week, and the Senior Discounts. You can check it out. We also have a Senior Discounts Facebook page, and we have a Senior Discounts YouTube channel too, which I've got to kind of investigate what to do about that yet. So subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. If you see something you like, send us comments. We're always love to hear from people, so thank you.
And we're playing February 21st at Solid Grounds Coffee House.
February 21st?
February 21st.
I'm glad I didn't post it. I was going to put the wrong date.
Friday, February 21st at Solid Grounds Coffee House in Littleton, Colorado, 6 p.m.
6 p.m., Solid Grounds, Littleton, Colorado. It's South Broadway. It's I don't know exactly.
Broadway in Panama.
Yeah, Broadway in Panama, behind the big Hyundai dealership.
Yes.
And we're playing the open mic night there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
December 27th.
Last Friday.
We're probably going to do a couple songs at the open mic night that night. So.
Which is always fun.
Yeah, that's great. The open mic night there. Solid Grounds. All right. Well, thank you.
Going back to the place where I was born.